So one of the most basic things that you might have noticed early on in the video was that we can ask what time is it, and the assistant has no idea of the current date or time. When it comes to things like booking events and calendars or automatically scheduling things for you, it's pretty important that the agent's able to know the current date and time. So we're going to show you how to write a custom tool using LangChain.rb to do just that. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a base tool here that all the tools can inherit from. I like to just place the tools in models, AI, and create a new folder called tools. And then inside here, we're just going to have base tool.rb. And I'm just going to paste this in. So we've got extend LangChain tool definition, which is where it gets its smarts from. And then this is just some stuff that I've done for to benchmark how long tool execution takes, and you can output that in the UI if you want to know, oh, it took 5 seconds to do that web search or whatever. So we'll ignore that for now, and we'll go into our tools and we'll give it date time tool.rb. We can say class date time tool, and cursor's giving me some stuff here which is incorrect. And tool functions, this is what the LangChain tools library gives us. It's the ability to define our functions. So we call this for every single one of the functions we want to expose in our tool. One tool could have 5 different functions. So you could create a tool for document search, and you could have get documents by ID, get documents by vector search, get recent documents with a limit, or things like that. For this one, we're just going to have one single method, and we're going to have our get current date time. And so we have our method here, and property of format. So we call format, and we have that as required false. So we can pass in default as the string here. And then what we do is we start our timer, which is in our base tool, which just basically takes a record of the current time. And then not related to the time of the get current date time, that's entirely separate. We use this on every tool just to measure the execution time. Now we have current time is time.current. Formatted time then is the format that the AI has requested the date time in. So this basically allows the AI to choose which time format it wants, and we can basically give it those different options. And then we have our JSON response, which again is in our base tool and generates pretty JSON to give back to the AI. The AI is like JSON, so that's all good. And we just merge in our response time as well as a key, so that gives it the task duration. So we have our date time, which is formatted time, timestamp as well, and time zone. So we can save this tool. We've got our AI tools date time tool. We can go to our agent and go down. And as you saw in the last episode, we defined web search. Now we can call date time, give it our new date time. The one thing that I really like to do here is to have an instance of the current task that can go into the tools, and that allows you to make more complex tools as well. So I'm going to go back into our base tool here. We're going to say that we have an adder reader for task. We have an initializer that takes in a task and sets the current task. So this basically allows us in our task functions. So if we wanted to reference the current user or the current task in any sort of way, we can do that inside our function, and you'll see that how that becomes really powerful when we start to look at sub-agents and communication between agents. So that's just one thing I like to do. And then if we go back to agent here, what we want to do is pass in our task, which again, available tools. We're going to take in our task here as well. And we can come up to where we call available tools and pass in our task. So that has all the information. So we can reference this date time tool and go to our agent configuration. And let's just go to General Assistant. and give it the date time tool. So it now has date time, and now we can say what is the time, and you can see it calls current date time, and it's able to save that. And now we can say give me it in 24-hour format, and it's still the same because it's 9 a.m. So that is how you can write custom tools. They can be really powerful, and we'll explore those more later when it comes to sub agents.